Okay, now in the last episode of this, we did just recover Ilya's memory and had a very touching ending to that, but she looks furious at me right now, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just the angle that I was looking at her. But anyway, hey there everybody. Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess HD. This is Spiraling Helix, and we just did what I said we just did. We also achieved? We also got 2 items. The Horse Call Charm. Horse Charm? I actually don't know the name of it. Which will call Epona whenever she can come to us. And the Ancient Sky Book. And if we show this to Shad, I almost called him Chad. Shad, who's been researching such matters. What's this? Ah, it's Sky Rising. Where in blazes did you get this? You don't suppose this could be the word that breaks the seal? Right, let's try it out. No reaction. So it is not this statue. Ugh. Link, thanks ever so. You have brought me one step closer to solving this puzzle. I shall give the book back to you. Now, I shall try out this word on other statues. I have made the rounds of these statues so many times that I have memorized their locations. I will place marks on your map so you can find them. Come find me in case you have questions. Remember, every one of those marks is near an owl statue. Now, if you'll excuse me. What's this? The power has returned to the Dominion Rod! It's telling me how to use it again. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. The writing in the book was a spell that imbued the staff with magic. Now you can do to the other statues what he did before. So, he did say he would mark your map wherever there was a statue, didn't he? Then we should go check out those spots, right, Link? Let's do that. So, first of all, you can see we have quite a few. So let's head to the Bridge of Eldin as our first destination. Now, with each owl statue, I'm just gonna start mentioning what there is because we have a lot of these to get through. So with each owl statue, there is a mark or a character underneath which will enter in another part of the word that Shad tried to say to the weird statue in the sanctuary. As you will see right now, this glowing symbol here. Now, on top of that, there is also an extra collectible or 100 rupees that you will get in relation to these owl statues. So you will have to grab the statue and move it to a different location, usually to platform your way to the next one. This one happens to be across the other end of the Bridge of Eldin. Oh, got hit there. But there we go. Let's move you down a bit further. So about here should do it. Some of these placements are actually quite hard to get right. And perfect, first time. Now, again, moving a now statue to a certain spot will help you get another collectible or 100 rupees. And this one here, what? There's a boblin up here. Anyway, this one here will give us a piece of heart. Oh yeah. So let's warp to the next location, which is down at Kakariko Gorge. And here we are coming up here. You can already see the chest waiting for up on that ledge. But I always recommend when we are dealing with these owl statues to grab the character before you go for the chest. As one, the chest will usually take you a bit away from this platform. But once you obtain the character, it will move the owl statue back to its default place. So don't like move it out here, line it up, and then grab the character. Just go for the character straight away. So that will line up our platforming. And then I want to grab control of it here. And here's what I love. The developers have set this up in such a way that if I move over here, it will line up practically perfectly for the next jump. And this is not the only case of that. I love how that works. But with that, we get a stamp, the letter E. On to the next place, heading over here. While it's nighttime in particular, I want to go to this one near Castletown, as there is a Po nearby as well, which I do not want to miss out on. And, oh my goodness, we could have explored this area of Hyrule Field a long time ago. There's even a golden bug there we don't have yet. And I'll save that for another time, because honestly, there's a lot of these owl statues, and I'd rather focus on them for this episode. But don't worry, I will come back and deal with Hyrule Field at a later time. But there's our Po that I really wanted to grab. I think that's the only Po we will be seeing. So it can now turn into... Oh my goodness! It's actually turning into daytime. Ooh, that was close. I did not realize how close that was. I want to be at the edge before I move you. And don't move while it's dropping, because it won't move. And that should be good enough. There we go. As you could see, there were a lot of guys around here if you wanted some extra rupees. But with that, a missing part of the word in the Ancient Skybook has been restored. But there are still missing characters. Let's just take care of these boblins. There we go. And if we move the statue all the way over here in this kind of maze-like area, as the music of the amazing music of Hyrule Field is kicking into full swing after this little daytime jingle. And over here, we will grab a stamp? No, it is 100 rupees. On to the next one. I'm actually not warping to the next one, as it's over near Flight by Fowls, and there isn't actually a warp location over there, so let's just run over there ourselves. I still don't get why this little part of Hyrule Field has its own loading zone, even though you can literally run a circle around the entirety of Hyrule Field, except that location and the location south of Castletown. I guess it's just those two locations take time to load in Castletown compared to the rest of Hyrule Field, which is loading literally the entire world. But I digress. The owl statue is right over here. There it is. And all these boulders like those you see lying around, I don't really feel the need to destroy them. They just have some rupees hidden underneath them. About 50 or somewhere around there. I need to move you back a little bit further actually. It's actually deceptive, like how far back you need to move this one. But what you do with this, you move it back, you grab onto this, and I actually moved it too far back. Darn my overcorrecting. But no point climbing up to ledge at the top, there's nothing up there, I'm pretty sure. But with that, yet another of the missing sky characters. I think there's 2 more after this one. Only one way to find out, but there are still missing characters. Anyway, this is probably the most awkward collectible to get out of all of them. You have to move this owl statue over here so that you can jump to it without falling off. Nice. And then jump over here. Whew, that was close. Seriously, that is deceptively hard to get, but it is 100 rupees, not even worth getting. Our next one is over in the Gerudo Desert. So let's head over this way. And in case you guys are wondering about the Cave of Ordeals, now that we are right next to it, it is worth noting you can make it down to the 40th floor at this point, or 41st technically. However, you cannot make it past the 41st floor without the dungeon item from the next dungeon. After that though, go ahead. Anyway though, here is our owl statue. Wow, that's hard to say. Ow. Let's try saying that like 20 times at the speed of sound. Okay, maybe not quite that many or that fast, but it's still a decent tongue twister. And a missing part of the word has been restored, but there are still missing characters. Oh, maybe there's 2 left now. I think it's only just 1, but this one. I love how neatly this works out. If you grab it from here and walk over to here, that works nicely. And if you grab it from here and walk over to here, come on, and boom, and don't fall off, Link. Also be careful stepping down here from one of these. Link will want to jump that and tend to just go right over. But it lines it up perfectly, and then we can do it again. Seriously, I like how easy they made this. It's not so easy that it's trivial, but it's easy enough that you don't get frustrated at it. Because, let's face it, these types of platforming... No. These types of platforming can be frustrating if you just fall off. Unlike, oh, it's actually hard, but you feel good when you do it. I thought that would be for something more than 100 rupees. My bad. Next stop, the Farron Woods, and that's actually in a location we haven't been to. A very small one, though. You know what I just realized? I just realized that I am maxed out on rupees. And seeing as there's nothing to spend rupees on at this point, I'm gonna chuck the magic armor on, so that it feels good to get rupees at some point. But over here, there is a boulder that we have neglected for the entire game, which reveals this owl statue right over here. And I'm very curious, how did Shad know about this one when there's been a boulder blocking it off the entire time? Also, just think about this. Shad, with that, the ancient skybook is filled with its missing characters. This is a crucial clue to finding a city in the sky. The Uka civilization, as such. Anyway though, interesting to note though, Shad has come to all of these locations multiple times to the point where he's memorized them all. Which, sure, I wouldn't think it's too hard to memorize them, but I need to be Wolf Link for this. Also, magic armor obviously doesn't work while you are Wolf Link. He has been to this place behind a boulder multiple times. He has been to the middle of the Gerudo Desert multiple times. Not just, he saw it from the tower in Lake Island. He's been to Gerudo Desert multiple times and got back. I don't know how. Oh, by the way, piece of heart for this collectible. And this is actually a good time to go grab that Poe that was in the middle if you haven't already. But now I believe it is best to head back to the sanctuary. But yeah, he's been to the Bridge of Eldon. He's been to Kakariko Gorge, Hyrule Castle Town, and a little bit further away from there. He's been to all of these places multiple times. He has them memorized. Not only that though, he said he would go try out the words that we gave him on each of those statues, as we also went around each of these statues. However, we did not bump into him during the process. But if I head back down here, you've probably guessed it at this point. Shad has already returned. He went by all of those owl statues without the ability that Midna has to warp. He has been round each of those locations multiple times with items and boulders blocking the way and such. How? Anyway, is this that book from last time? Are there more letters in the word than the last time I looked at this? How did you investigate them? Link, this is amazing! Amazing! Now this must be the word we need. Let's try it immediately. He is so quiet there, but he is mumbling stuff. Random stuff. Ah! It has taken on the same shape as the other statues. What can this mean? And I thought we had solved the last of the riddles. Blast! How confounding! I must apologize, Link. I need to cool off a tad before I mold the problem further. Darn it all, tomfoolery and all of that other stuff. This is no joke. Actually, no. This is not the last time we will be using the Dominion Rod. However, it is the last time you need to use it. Seriously, the Dominion Rod, as awesome as it might be in the Temple of Time, it's got a pretty limited use, which kinda sucks. But in here, we will find... Link? Yes, we have found Link! How in blazes did he move that statue? And what's this? Amazing! Spectacular! This must be the sky cannon I read about in my father's notes. I knew that my intuition was onto something when it led me here. But how can one use this to get to the city in the sky? Got anything else to say? Stunning! I almost feel nervous. Just think, if we could get this to work, we could actually reach the city in the sky. Very interesting indeed. Got some interesting patterns on the wall. Look a bit like Uku. Maybe that's the Uka tribe. But, Midna has something to say. A cannon, huh? What do you plan to do with this, Link? Yes, we can warp it. Except that guy's still watching us. Well, let's have a nice little chat with him. I tried cracking my fingers, but I can't do it. I'm sorry. Perhaps I am in your way? Well, forgive me for not realizing. I should just disappear at times like this, really. So, let me know the results another time, Link. Yes. Let me give you one last piece of advice. That seems to be broken, so you'd do well to show it to a cannon expert first, I should say. Farewell. Old chap. I can't help it, he just sounds like that sort of person. I wonder if I put him off. Well, if we speak with Midna to warp it, again, she says the same thing, but I think I've only seen one other cannon in all of Hyrule. And that is down in Lake Hylia. Okay, that was the worst warping animation of any big thing we've seen. However, let's go talk to our frequented canon expert right over here, and I'm actually gonna take off the magic armor because we do need rupees. Just saying. Hey, buddy. So, is that yours? Heh. Hey buddy, I never thought you'd get so hooked on fantastication that you'd try to build your own cannon. So, are you gonna give me the tour or what? Looks like you have a serious rig over there. Whoa, it's kind of retro, huh? And there's no ignition device. so you can't even use it. Listen, buddy, I suppose I might be able to fix it for you. I mean, maybe. That is, if you can pay me 300 rupees in advance. What do you say? Yes, because I don't have a choice. Heh, I knew you'd see the light, buddy. Now I'll just be a sec. Oh my goodness, did you see that little snippet of him where he was lying down and just hammering? That was amazing. That is 300 rupees, the max you can have in the minimum wallet in the previous versions of the game, but of course you can have 500 in this one. Here we go, buddy. All working as it should, I think. It may look like junk, but this thing's got some powerful innards. You're going to be knocking on the door to the heavens. Seriously, bud, it might be rough. So, I'm sorry for soaking you for the dough. I'll leave you alone then. Hehe. Well, you just have all the fun you want, okay, buddy? Now, if you cannot actually pay the price yet, he will go back and you can speak to him going cannon repairs or something like that. But, as you can see, if we look in the back, there is a claw shot target. I'm not going to take that though, as this, even though it might not look like it, this is indeed the dungeon entrance to the next dungeon. So, next time guys, you know what's gonna happen. We're heading off to the next dungeon to get the final shard of the Mirror of Twilight. And prepare to fight Zant afterwards. Anyway, see you guys next time. This has been Spiraling Helix. Bye-bye.